gentlemen and race fans, welcome along to Race and Exodus as we provide your sim racing broadcasting here on Tuesday night. And well, it's good to be back for sports car adventures here in the Apex This GT4 series. It's season 26, week 1 out of 12, and we are at the world acclaimed and world renowned Michelin Raceway, Road Atlanta. Hello, everybody in the booth today. My name's Alex Goldschmidt, and I'm joined by my partner in crime for the entirety of this series. A very good evening, Chris Murphy. Chris, how are you doing, buddy?
Excellent, Alex. Good to be with you once again. We've kind of been everywhere here the last month or so, so really happy to be here with Apex S GT4 Tuesday nights. Looking forward to some great racing here. We got a good field of cars. Boy, we look like we got about 36 drivers here with us tonight.
Yes, indeed. A smorgasbord, as they would say, of GT4 manufacturers. We've got Porsche, BMW, Mercedes. We've got Detroit muscle in the form of the Ford Mustang, Aston Martin, and even a couple of McLarens along there as well. We've got about, we're coming to the end of the 10-minute qualifying session, and it's this man here, the 333 Porsche Cayman 718 GT4 of DJ Alessandrini, that leads the way on a 126.6. We've got Michael Brook, Brian Lemke rounding out your top three. Porsche leading the way. We will give you an understanding as Alessandrini through turns 2, 3, and 4 gets a little bit of a tank slapper in the Porsche Cayman, but the checkered will be out for qualifying this time. Looks like we're going to have 37 cars on the grid. Now, I have to say, Kelly Greenhoe, who put a message in the YouTube chat, we will try and get webcams arranged for next week. So a quick rundown of the calendar. We've got Road Atlanta this week. Next week, which is 2 days before Christmas Day, we head to Monza. December 30th, Watkins Glen. January 6th, Mid-Ohio. Then we've got Spa on the 13th of January, Sebring 20th of Jan, 27th of January, Long Beach. Then it's Mosport, or Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, as it's now known, on February 3rd. February 10th, we go to VIR. Then we go to WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, February 17th. Bathurst, Mount Panorama in New South Wales, Australia, is the penultimate round of the season. And funnily enough, we start at Road Atlanta. We finish at Road America, America's National Park of Speed. The format will be that for a victory in each respective class, we'll get onto the classes next week because it's quite new, a new league for myself and Chris to broadcast on, but we're really, really pleased to be part of this. That there will be 2 separate classes. There'll be the Pro and there'll be the MPLs. For a victory in each respective class, it'll be 20 points for the win, 18 for second, 17 for third. And then if anyone gets past the threshold, which is 80% of the race distance, they will score a point. If they finish, I think it's going to be like 15th or lower. But more to the point, the format itself for the series, it's the best 8 out of 12 scores here on the Apex This GT4. And it's it's season 26, effectively. First of all, we all want to say a big thank you to trackcams22.com for their provision of the track cameras. Also, through the Apex Sim Racing shop, you can get a 5% discount on any purchase. When you go to checkout, just use the code RACERNEXUS. It's all lowercase, all together, no spaces, no capital letters. So, you get yourselves ready for that one, as we are getting ready for what is going to be a 45-minute adventure around this 2.54 mile circuit that runs 13 corners in totality, 7 to the right, 6 to the left. First opened back in mid-September of 1970. So effectively, in the words of the late Ray Charles, we definitely have got Georgia on our minds. So the grid is as follows, and it is a long grid, so bear with me. I've got to draw a big breath here, Chris, because it's a long, long grid that we've got. So DJ Alessandrini will start on pole position. Michael Brook will be alongside on the front row. Brian Lemke and Stan Hammonds, that is row number 2. Mark Miller, being the first of the Mercedes, will start on the inside of your third row with Parker Dime or Parker Dune. I don't know. Parker, if you can let us know how to say your surname, that'd be greatly appreciated. That's row 3. Row 4, Austin Diltz and Derek Tyndall. Row 5, completing your top 10 here in the opening round of the season, Kyle Mavis and Brian Zinn. Roman Bykov and Aaron Lahr round out row 6 with Joseph Mayer and John Cooper rounding out the next row on row number 7. Then row 8, it's Jesse Meager and Russell Abraham. Kelly Greenhoe and Sean Teeter will round out row 9, and completing the top 20 out of 37 cars will be Oz Esquilu and Daniel Salmon from the United Kingdom. So he's up at the same time as I am at the moment, and it's just about gone 2 o'clock in the morning UK time here on the other side of the pond. Then we've got Luke Harrigan and Dan Corrido on row number 11. Row 12 will be Craig Thompson and Uwe Hale. Mike Bond and Spencer Baudouin rounding out row number 13. Row 14, John Monsalve and Rob Phelan. Completing your top 30 will be the number 5 Mustang of Antonio Wood, and then the BMW of Morgan Paul. We've got 7 more drivers still to go, as they're going to put them on a full formation lap. So we are not going green. It's going to be a full pace lap. James Dean and Morgan Smith will round out row 16. Row 17 will be Juan Colmenero and Richard Savicki II. Then we've got Dylan Foster, Matthew Brent, and Greg Rockway is probably going to be starting in the pit lane. So one of the big things here at Road Atlanta here, Chris, is that you've got to be very, very careful. We've seen a few moments, I mean, especially with DJ Alessandrini coming into turn 5. Now, turn 5 after the S's, you cannot go wide, otherwise you are going to go into that barriers at a big rate of speed, and that's still, even though these are production-based race cars.
I want to compliment you on your going through the grid there so quickly on your at 2 o'clock in the morning for you, Alex. Good to be with you, buddy. Hey, yeah, you know what? The big trick here at Road Atlanta, you know, is just keeping up your momentum here, especially with these GT4 cars. They don't have nearly the grip that we see a lot of times with the GT3, so it's who's going to keep up their momentum, who's not going to make any mistakes, keep the car on the track. This is going to be an exciting race. This may be one of the biggest fields we've covered in quite a while.
Well, it kind of reminds me of my karting adventures, because normally a capacity grid is 36 cars on a karting circuit, and you cannot exceed that basically because of insurance and health and safety. But because of the fact that when you've got a circuit here that is like about 4.1 kilometers, most of the circuits I commentate on, you're probably looking at about a fourth of that distance. So they've got to be very, very careful. But everyone is weaving from side to side. They will have to get into the Indianapolis style start, so flying start here for every single round. Now, it is a 45-minute race. Setups are fixed. Fuel is limited. And effectively, you have 1 fast repair per race. Damage will be on 12x drive-through penalty. All cars are fixed setups, so the only thing that you're going to get in terms of a driver aid is clutch assist is the only aid you will have. All driving aids are not allowed in this series, but the Porsche pace car leads us into turn 10A and turn 10B. But also, that's another good opportunity for overtaking as you go down the hill underneath the bridge at turn 11. But it's going to be Alessandrini and Brock that is going to bring us to green here at Michelin Raceway, Road Atlanta, location in Brazelton, just outside of Atlanta, as Barney, the flag marshal, is primed and ready. Pace car in pit road. We are ready. The green flag waves, and we are underway. And a good start by Alessandrini. Brian Lemke looking to get inside on Michael Brook and might get the inside line going into turn 1. One of the Aston Martins, I think that's Roman Bykov, had 2 wheels on the grass going into turn 1 for the opening tour. But Alessandrini has bolted like a whippet at a race course and has gotten away. But Lemke, I think, has just got the move as the Mercedes dives to the inside. That's Mark Miller on Derek Tyndall. So Lemke up to P2, Brook demoted down to P3. Derek Tyndall has had a great start in the BMW, the 042. Makes up 2 spots now, runs P6 as they go through into 5 for the first time. But Alessandrini here, Chris, has already rocketed away, and his lead is 1.5 seconds as they come through turn 7 and head on to the back straightaway.
Yeah, DJ was setting the pace in practice and sat here on the pole, and great start right there. He caught a couple guys sleeping. I think they're on the start. He's already 1.6 seconds out to Lemke.
Ooh.
Lemke with a good move.
That camera nearly caught me unawares there. There's actually some drivers coming through the back part of shot there, but Craig Thompson in the 00 Mercedes, I think, has already had a drama. He's in the pit lane, and that car has had a big amount. Well, it's in there for quite a long time. So we're going to have a look at the replay here. So the man from Zimbabwe, of all places, by the national flag, he's got a bit Knight Rider styling with that stealth black livery on that car. Oh, this is going to be, oh, right, watch it. Ken Block, yeah, it's like Johan Christophersen.
If he just pulled over
Tries
and
to do the
stopped.
Joker lap. Yeah, and he's in pit lane and he hasn't rejoined. But meantime, Alessandrini leads us again, still on lap number 2 now as we go down in towards the S's, and he has quite literally bolted. He's 2.1 seconds up the road. Lemke, Brook, Hammonds, I think it's Parker. Well, I will have to look it up a little bit later, but Parker in the number 15 is the highest of the Ford Mustangs. He's up from 6th spot. He's now into P5. Tyndall in the BMW up to 6. Mark Miller, Oscar Diltz, Brian Zinn, Roman Bykov in the number 013 Aston Martin V8 Vantage GT4 rounds out your top 10. Biggest movers at the moment, Bourdois, Monsalve, they're up 6 spots apiece. They round out 20th and 21st. Richard Savicki, the second, has moved up a big amount of places, 9 spots, and he's running P25 at the moment. So the man from the USA in the 528 Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 Clubsport makes his way progressively up the field. There's a little bit of a battle behind him, and now Brian Lemke moving away from Michael Brook, who's got Stan Hammonds in that very lovely liveried BMW M4 GT4 right on his on his tail as we ride on board with the 421 going up through T1 up the hill through to 4th gear, and then it's going to be coming over the crest down into turn 3.
Oh, Lemke.
And then Lemke's made a mistake, and Michael Brook has just closed that gap ever so slightly. It looks like he's got some fangs on the front cowl of that Porsche 718. It's a bit of a miniature Rexy there, only with a different colour scheme. As Brook goes wide coming out of turn 5. Hammonds might get the run on him in the BMW, and he gets to the outside. He gets the overspeed, and the BMW moves up into 3rd position as they go round into turn 6. But that was a bit of a wobble there for Michael Brook. Stan Hammonds took complete advantage of it, used the overspeed on the outside and got the job done.
Yeah, Brook with fangs on the front of that car. Looks like he's going to go out there and eat some sand, but unfortunately that cost him a spot. Hammond's able to move up there because it looked like Brook was going to take advantage of that mistake by Lemke, but Lemke able to get a little bit of a gap here, about 4 car lanes back to Hammond. So this battle for second is shaping up, but in the meantime, DJ is just pulling away from this field now over 3 seconds out. Not looking back. We talked a little bit earlier before the race with Lemke, and the kind of insight is we're probably looking at pit stops sometime around the 25-minute mark here.
Yeah, and the track temperature at the moment is 122 degrees Fahrenheit, which is effectively 50 degrees Celsius. These tyres will be screaming blue murder here in the Georgia heat as Alessandrini, another new fastest lap, a 1 minute. 26.470. There you see, humidity 71%. Air temperature 26 degrees, that's 79 degrees Fahrenheit, and a whopping 50 degrees Celsius. Clear, sunny skies here in Georgia, and also good to see that we've got a nice little battle between 2 or 3 drivers. I mean, looking at the gaps between Brian Zinn, Roman Bykov, Kyle Mavis. Bit of a gap between Mavis and Aaron Lauren, the 468 Porsche, who rounds out the top 12, as Bykov looking to try and get through on the Maximum Effort Motorsports BMW M4. Loving the livery on that car. Varying different shades of colour for the number 82 as they come out of turn 7. And this is where they really pick up speed, Chris, because turn 8 and turn 9, you're pretty much at full throttle, aren't you?
Oh, you're full out into this until you get up into this hard left-hand corner. You are just flat out down this part of the racetrack. I guess I kind of call this like the back straightaway. But it's going to see if you can get into this tight left-hand corner, gain some momentum, you might have a chance to get by somebody on the inside. But right here, all still single file at this point. I'm with you. I like that paint job on Brian Zinn's car right there. I'm going to keep an eye on that BMW.
Yep, quite a few, anyone's able to bring whatever livery they like. I mean, the thing is, Brian Lemke's one, it looks a bit stealth, a lot of black on that BMW, very much in the vein, if anyone has ever watched the DTM back when BMW returned to the series back in 2012 and then ended up winning Drivers, Teams and Constructors Championship, and the title was won that year by Bruno Spengler, who now, these days, is a test driver for Bugatti Rimac, which is quite a surprise. You go from BMW works driver, and then you get called, can you come and work for us here at Bugatti Rimac? And it's sort of like, driving in the some of the most expensive hypercars in the world. But again, BMW has always been a very, very good all-rounder, especially in GT3s and GT4s. There's the Sky Lounge liveried number 77 of Canada's John Cooper. He's currently running P14 at the moment, ahead of Jesse Meager, and is running behind the 000 of Joseph Mayer in the BMW M4 GT4. Going to have a Racer Nexus replay. Here's James E. Dean in the 049 Porsche 718. Oh, that's going to unsettle the car. Onto the grass he goes, and let's just hope he keeps it going through 4 and into 5. Yes, he does. So thank goodness for that. But DJ Alessandrini in the 333 car, he's completely, we're 7.5 minutes in, and his lead over Brian Lemke is now 4.2 seconds. That Porsche looks like it's cornering on a dime at the minute here, Chris.
Oh, Alessandrini's really got this dialed in here. This is definitely his race to lose right now, unless he makes a mistake. He has got. I mean, what's fastest lap is a 26.38. He's only one of the 2 drivers in the 26 so far. Half a second faster than anybody else out on the racetrack. And he is just pulling away here now, over 5 seconds, almost 5 seconds now, back to Lemke. And Lemke cannot shake Hammonds. Hammonds and Brooks still right there behind him. So Lemke, as he's trying to chase down Alessandrini, is bringing Hammonds along with him. But they're not making up too much ground here in this early part of the race.
No, when we do get to the pit stop phase, it is going to be the case of, with the 45-minute race, if track conditions were, let's say, at about 80 degrees Fahrenheit, you would say that, yes, there's going to be more of a chance of the tyres being able to survive a 45-minute encounter. But with 50 degrees Celsius or 122 degrees Fahrenheit, what will be the case is that the track can be quite abrasive here at Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta. So it is a case of, in these early stages, you get the tyres up to temp. They'll come up to temp pretty quickly. That'll help the brakes along as well. But more to the point, it is going to be the case of, right, there's a couple of drivers that went a little bit wide, and one of which was Mark Miller, followed by Austin Diltz. That is the battle for P7, coming out of turn 12 down the hill. And looks like Diltz is right on the rear of the Mercedes-Benz, and there you can see, there's another one with fangs on it. So Austin Diltz running with the Sapphire SimSport Alpha crew in the 217 Porsche Cayman. Looks like he's out for a little bit of Falterbach blood at the moment, as we get this wonderful onboard from Mark Miller on the rear bumper cam. It looks like it's sprouted a couple of nostrils on the hood of that car as well.
Yeah, nice creative paint job right there. I like it. What I love about doing so many different races here, Alex, is we get to see this creativity here with these guys on a lot of these paint liveries, and another sharp one right there for Diltz. I really like that one. Or is it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing is that now, with regards to the battle between Lemke, Hammonds, and Brock, Michael's losing a little bit of time to Stan, but Stan's really keeping with Brian at the minute, and you can see how much deeper Stan's able to go on the brakes into turn 10A. But then it's going up the hill. That's where you got to get the traction, because then it sets you up nicely for the roller coaster. As there we see a picture of Stan himself, Sky Lounge Motorsports. But you could just see how close. I mean, the good thing is that when you're not the leader in a battle, like we're seeing with Brian Lemke at the moment, it's more the case of the people behind will use you as their braking point. So if someone brakes at the 100 meter board, you think, oh, hang on, I can brake about 10 to 15 meters later. But sometimes that depends on your overspeed. But look, Michael Brock is being dropped, quite literally. The 2 BMWs have got a real good thing going on at the moment, but it is not helping Brian Lemke closing in on DJ Alessandrini as we are past the 11-minute mark. So 34 minutes to go out of the 45. And it'll be interesting to see with regards to fuel management as well, Chris, that, I think Stan Hammonds has got a real good opportunity here to undercut Brian Lemke on the pit stops. And even though we might be talking about it at this early point in time, if you can have that additional second or two in your back pocket, if you can save a little bit of fuel and lift and coast, that can be to your advantage, especially in such a tight field as well, when you think about it, when we've still got We've still got 35 of the original runners and riders as Lemke nearly makes a mistake. Michael Brock nearly comes sideways going out of turn 10B. It looks like those tyres are starting to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, like you said, we're not at Daytona, we're not at Talladega, but you can still get enough slipstream here down the back straightaway, kind of lift and coasters, like you were saying, save a little fuel mileage, maybe Hammonds can go a lap or two later than Lemke. And like you said, if he can get a good in lap on when we get ready to pit stop, he can undercut Lemke, get clear of him, because right now those two BMWs are just pacing each other. And with these fixed setups, I don't think it's really hard to find an advantage to find a way around somebody.
Now, I have to say, big thank you to Perfect Gen that Michael Brock broke his throttle pedal last race, and Jen has just said he was making repairs right before this race. So, has the throttle pedal for Michael Brock started to plague him in terms of getting the hammer down quickly out of the corners? You know, when he knows that he can hit that acceleration point, and I've had it where. One person I was commentating on, he had to retire from a race because his upshift paddle on his steering wheel failed. Then we had someone whose brake pedal went to the floor, and the spring decided to go exit stage right from the sim rig. So it can happen, but also we're seeing now that this is a great little battle. We've got Morgan Smith here in 23rd, right behind the 911 Mercedes of Oz Esquilu. And they're going down at big speeds. Of course, the AMG GT4 car is the 4-litre twin-turbo cousin of the 6.3 naturally aspirated V8 that we see as the McLaren. Now, that was Daniel Salmon going through on John Monsalve, who's now losing places as Exilo goes up the inside, and there is also Morgan Smith, Uwe Hale, Philip Paul. They're right at the back of this, along with Philip, also with Mike Bond. And Perfect Jen said he is so sleeping on the couch if he doesn't step it up. I swear. Well, the thing is, Jen, don't try and make those threats now because there's still a pit stop window to exercise here. Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta.
Well, I think he actually has made up a little bit of ground since that threat came out there. He's moved up a little bit. He's probably moved up a couple of car lengths there on Hammonds at this point.
Yeah. So it's going to be the case of what Hammonds does now, because he's putting Lemke under such severe pressure going through into turn 10A and turn 10B, but it's Lemke that gets the traction because Hammonds is suffering. I'm gonna say, send it test animal. I think that says on the back bumper of Stan Hammonds' car. That's an intuitive little bit of livery personification there on the rear bumper, just above the twin tailpipes on the BMW M4. But yeah, I think it's more the case now that Hammonds is. Yeah, it's brought the gap down because Michael was about 1.4 seconds behind. The gap's now shrunk to nearly half that. And it's more the case of just play the game. Just don't force the window. Let the window of opportunity come to you. And when a driver is under severe pressure, Chris, and we've seen this many a time when we've worked together, whether it's GT3s, whether it's dirt track racing, if you're the person up front and you're getting the pressure from behind, you're the one with the biggest chip on your shoulder because you're like thinking, how can I shake this guy?
Yeah, you just want to get clear because you want to be focused on what's in front of you, and that's the big thing right now. When I first started learning racing, I started learning on the dirt tracks, and we didn't have mirrors in the car back then, so you were always focused in front of you. You didn't have to worry about what's behind you. But with these guys, you got that mirror in the car, and when that guy's that close behind you like that, it's tough not to keep looking behind you because you're trying to keep up your pace, but at the same time trying to defend the entry to the corner. And right now, Miller's doing a really good job defending here from Dilts, but Dilts is all over the back of him right now.
Yeah, and now it's a case of Austin Dilts might see the opportunity. It won't be through here at turn 12. It will be the short run down the front start finish stretch here at Road Atlanta as they will sweep into turn 1. The Porsche might have an opportunity to get in the slipstream, and then I like that. Parker's gone with the old liquid molly livery, like we would see with, say, for example, Team Engstler back in the day when Franz Engstler, the father of Luca, who's a Lamborghini driver, when he ran in the World Touring Car Championship as an independent, they had the liquid molly livery on the car then. So, but again, Michael is still keeping within that 8.5 tenth of a second window.
He's closing.
So. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think the thing is, it's sort of like it's stabilised now as, Stan Hammonds put the traction down. Meantime, it is going to be the case. Have we got a change? I think Parker Dime's still battling away with Derek Tyndall. And Tyndall will have, Tyndall's probably got the best run down the back stretch on the Liqui Moly, number 15 Ford Mustang. Who's going to be the bravest of the brave on the brakes? It's going to be Parker. He's going to get the inside line as Antonio Wood gets a slowdown penalty. But yeah, that BMW really looks hooked up in the hands of Derek Tyndall in the number 042. And the main thing is that it's going to put Parker under significant pressure. Meantime, Michael is within 3.5 tenths of a second. Right, John Cooper looks to be the first driver to dive into pit lane as we are just about at the 18-minute mark. And more to the point, has John decided, right, I'm going to try and undercut as many people as I can in front of me. Austin Diltz runs in P7, so Parker Dime has now dropped a couple of places. He's lost out to Tyndall, and he's also lost out to Miller and Diltz at the same time. So Parker Dime now drops from 5th and now runs P8 at the moment. So, but I'm quite surprised with John Cooper. We're going to have a look here at the move as now this is coming through into 3, 4 and the S's. So Parker's going to run off and he goes grass tracking, and then that just gave the opportunity to Derek Tyndall, and Parker Dime had to watch the rejoin. Very good spatial awareness for the WBM Racing Mustang, and that now gives him an opportunity to pull away. But the thing is that Derek Tyndall is about 4.3 seconds behind this battle for the last 2 steps on the overall rostrum. Of course, we'll discuss the classes next week, folks, when we go to the Temple of Speed, Autodromo Nazionale di Monza in Italy. Jesse Meager and Sean Teeter are battling away for position going through into turn 10A. That's for 16th spots overall, but with just over 25 minutes to go. Yes, perfect, Jen. There is going to be a fuel stop because it is due to fuel limitations. Now, we don't know how much fuel they have got in their cars. If they've been given like 45-50% on a 45-minute race, it depends on how well you can salvage that fuel. That looks to be either Matthew Brent or Philip Poole that has just been lapped, I would imagine. No, it's going to be Matthew Brent in the 58's BMW. So 2 Brits on the grid here for the Apex this iRacing League for season 26, with GT4s being the true focus. This is the first of 12 weeks. So 8 scores out of 12. So even if drivers decide, well, I can't make all the races, if they have 4 zeros, Chris, it means that at least there's less pressure on them in some respects.
Oh, for sure. You just want to try to make as many races as you can right now. But looking here at Diltz, he's working his way back up, or he's caught up to Miller now for this 5th and 6th and 7th positions. And actually, they're running up on the back of Tyndall. So I thought Tyndall, once Tyndall got clear of Parker there, he might be able to set sail, but he has not been able to shake Miller or Diltz right here in this battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th.
A bit of a drama for Mike Bond, I'm afraid, in the 123 Porsche 718 Cayman. He's just had to tow to pit lane and take his spare car. So, well, he just had a fast repair. So, another one with teeth on the Cayman. This is out of turn 5. Oh dear, and that is, well,
not as much contact as I thought he was going to have for having to tow to the pits there.
Well, no, he didn't have any contact with the wall on the inside. Yeah. So, looks like we might have an indication. So, Kent, who's one of the drivers, he's in the YouTube channel as well. He said, I'll be back next week. And he said, I think I set it at 47%. Okay, we'll wait for confirmation on that ahead of Monza next week, because that is going to be a track where everyone's going to be at least 75 to 80% full throttle. and it is a circuit that should be on anyone's bucket list. I've had the opportunity last year to go to it twice, once for work, once with an invitation. Actually ended up going there for the Italian Grand Prix last year. So it is a track that these drivers will be looking forward to next week, as we see John Monsalve there lose out to Morgan Smith in the 285 Mercedes-Benz, who gets a little bit of a wobble at the back end. The back axle sort of sashaying its rear like a samba dancer on the ballroom floor. But nevertheless, Monsalve is sticking with him, and this is where you're going to see these drivers just completely throw caution to the wind as Monsalve dives to the inside here at turn 10A, and he gets through on Morgan Smith. And Morgan didn't really fight that because he knows that, well, guys, we've got the pit stops coming up.
That's why he didn't fight it.
Arrow. Yeah, exactly. And look, you're seeing them dive into the pits. So Morgan Smith, Oz Esquilou has come in, Dan Carrido has come in. There's been a few others that have been in. Colmenero has been in. Antonio Wood is just leaving the pit lane in the number 5 Mustang. And speaking of Mustang, well, Joseph Mayer, who we're riding on board with at the moment, is right behind Kyle Mavis in the 398 Mustang. This is the battle for P12. So the BMW gets to run out of turn 7, and now Mayer will get the overspeed and try with the get the old slingshot engaged here down the back stretch as he's really closing into the rear bumper of the Ford Mustang. He pulls to the left-hand side. This will give him the inside line as they go down the hill through 9 and into the braking zone for turn 10A, and that is as neat as you would like. Joseph Mayer through on Kyle Mavis. So the BMW gets through on the Mustang, and that is P12 for the 000.
Great move there from Mayer. Mavis saw it, and they're both going to come into the pits, right? So he got the pass right before they came into the pits, but Mavis saw him coming, really didn't fight it either, and that's respect racing right there. What you don't want to see is you get into some of these races and you see guys just trying to defend for every single little spot. They're back there. They're back there racing for the kind of right outside of the top 10 at the time, and there's just really no point in doing anything crazy. But a nice move right there. That was a good pass. As we look back here at Lemke, Hammonds, and Brock, and they're still right here together. Lemke's still in that second spot, but he has been all race longer. He has either had Brock or Hammonds right on his back bumper.
Yeah, Kelly Greenhoe, Sean Teeter are now dived into pit lane. I would imagine that Alessandrini, when you think about it, it's probably going to be about a minute, including transfer time. Oh, Michael Brock goes a little bit wide coming out of turn 7, so loses a bit of time to Stan Hammonds. So with just over 20 and a half minutes to go, Alessandrini leads by 12 seconds. That is effectively the best part of 1/5 of a pit stop. Alessandrini comes into pit lane. Now, can Lemke, Hammonds and Brock decide to go over for another lap? That's another 2.5 miles. If they've got enough fuel, they will chance it. But no, Lemke, Hammonds and Brock all come into pit lane. Derek Tyndall comes in from 5th place, and that releases Mark Miller. And it's all change, as now you're going to see a bit of a pit lane fight between Messrs. Lemke, Hammonds and Brock for P2. And it's all about just keeping with them. They've got to be on that pit lane limiter in first gear all the way down the pit lane. And if you're towards the end of the pit lane, you've got a short transfer time coming out. So it's all that waiting to try and get... Oh, and Michael Brock, I think, might have just been caught speeding in the pit lane. And he has just got a black flag penalty. So that's going to be an additional 35 seconds. That he's going to have to stay in the pit lane. And that's a real shame for Michael in the 421 Porsche.
That might also put him on the couch for the night. Unfortunately, bad pit stop. I saw that pop up right as you said something. Just got into the pits a little bit hot, just trying to get every advantage you can. And that, unfortunately, that's going to cost him. He's going to come back through the pits for a drive-through.
Well, the thing is that if you come into pit lane, you actually, I'm just going to have a look at the time. It is still going up, so he's having to serve that penalty now. So that is going to be over a minute in the pit lane on his marks.
And actually, if we look back here, Alessandrini with a poor pit stop, he was in the pits for about 20 seconds longer. So once we cycle through these pit stops, I think we're going to see right here. This is the battle for the lead with Lemke and Hammonds right now. The first 2 6 have not pitted yet.
The thing is, judging by the pit stop from Alessandrini, I think he went, you know what, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to put new tyres on the car. So that's why that suggests to me that Lemke and Simmons decided, well, we're going to undercut Alessandrini. We're not going to take tyres. That's the thing.
Well,
And that's why Alessandrini finds himself 3.5 seconds behind Stan Hammonds.
and
But rest assured, with the next 18 or so minutes to go, once Alessandrini has got that car's tyres up to temp, all of a sudden, it's game on.
yeah, he took the words right out of my
And
mouth. He had such a good pace
Yeah,
earlier. That 3 seconds is not going to be anything for him to make up, especially if he has new rubber and the two in front only took fuel.
yeah, exactly. And at the moment, well, I did say that Michael Brock would have to serve a penalty. He has done 50, nearly 60 seconds in his pit box. And Alessandrini, Lemke and Hammonds, they're all having to battle through back marker traffic. There's Roman Bykov, I think, just up ahead in the 013. So Alessandrini has got to absolutely go for it. And that's the thing. If he wants to pick up the win overall, he's got to throw caution to the wind. And with his lead that was 13 seconds, he's now going to go for the move up the inside into turn 6. And we'll get the move done on Roman Bykov. And there we go. Confirmation by the timing tower. Alessandrini gets through. And at the moment, well, everyone else in front of Alessandrini are not on new tyres. They are on rubber that has gone through the ringer of 50 degrees centigrade, 122 degrees Fahrenheit of the track temperature. So I would say that Alessandrini's decision to spend that additional 18 or 19 seconds in the pit lane will be to his betterment, because I'm going to have a look at the lap times when they come across the line, because we'll get a better indication. So there's Brian Lemke leading the way. He goes a little bit wide out of the final corner. 127.3, 127.1 for Hammond. 128.1 for Alessandrini. So the tyre's not quite up to 10. But I mean, the thing is that Austin Dilts and Parker Dime both also did not take tyres. So at this point, I would say that Alessandrini is in the hot seat and will have the opportunity to get through on those in front, because if he's ripping through those sectors, I'm looking, I'm waiting to see when he goes through the respective sectors. So they're just coming through sector 2 now. And DJ Alessandrini, 24.6, and that was half a second quicker than Parker in front of him. So the pace advantage is with the 333, and you can see there now that Alessandrini pulling to the right-hand side of the circuit, and he's going to literally get part. I think if he just puts it late on the anchors going into turn 10A, the number 15 Mustang of Parker from WBM Racing is not going to have an opportunity to battle it, because he'll be on older scrub tyres that will be going past their deg rates. And there we go, dive to the inside. It's 3 abreast into turn 10A. And DJ Alessandrini around the outside of 10B. Yep, no traction for the Mustang, and the Porsche goes through. That's one car dealt with by DJ Alessandrini with 15 minutes on the timer. And looking at the differential between him and Brian Lemke, it is 4.1 seconds on new tyres. If it was like, say, 4 minutes to go, you would say that DJ Alessandrini hasn't got a chance, but he has now.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on those sector times. Like you said, about 3 to 4 tenths of a second faster than anybody. I'm watching this battle up front here with Hammonds and Lemke. Hammonds looks to have the better pace of Lemke right now. I think if he just wants to get clear right here, I would not be surprised if he can get around Lemke here. He's going to put some gap to him. Is they're going to come up to some more lap traffic here pretty soon. And what we always see when it comes to lap traffic, the first car through the lap traffic is usually at the disadvantage. If you're in second right here, we have seen that so many times, time and time again, where they come up on a lap car, the leader will have trouble getting around it, and the second place car can take advantage of it. So let's keep an eye on this, as they're going to be coming up into some more lap traffic here pretty soon. They got one more lap car. It looks like about a quarter straightaway ahead of him. So look at Hammonds right here. He has got some good pace down his back straightaway. Let's see if he can make a move, get into that corner. That hard left corner coming up.
I would say that probably Hammonds is going to bide his time. Meantime, Alessandrini took nearly a second out of Austin Dilts and is right with him. He's 3 tenths behind. So you folks out there say, well, why did he take tyres? Well, the thing is, if you have a really, really hot track and your tyres are being put through the ringer, the first thing you want to do is get them off, get those new set of boots on there. And here we go towards turn one. Alessandrini to the inside of Dilts. That's easily done. And he makes it through for P3 before they even hit the apex and go up the hill. So now Alessandrini has got clear air between him and himself and Stan Hammonds. And we've had only one lead change. So at the moment, DJ Alessandrini has led the most laps in this race so far, and more to the point, Brian Lemke only took the lead because of the fact that Alessandrini decided to go on the 3000 IQ strat and put a new set of boots along with the maximum amount of fuel allowance that these cars are getting, and that gap is coming down. And I'm looking at the sector times. Okay, 25, low 25.2 for Lemke sector 2. High 25.3 for Hammonds, mid 24.7 sector 2 for DJ Alessandrini. So he is like the Brahma bull in a china shop. He's ready to break up everything at a moment's notice, and those two in front, they are staying together. I do say that there is strength by numbers. They are not on the same team, but they know that there is a hard-charging Porsche Cayman 718 GT4 closing in on their 6, and that man is DJ Alessandrini, who wants that race lead back. We've got 12 minutes plus change to go as we will complete lap number 22, go on to lap 23, and the gap is now down to 1.1 seconds. Alessandrini did a 26.323, not quite the fastest lap of the race, mainly because of the fact it was invalidated due to track limits, but he's not even a second now behind Stan Hammonds. It was a 26.3 from Alessandrini, 27.7 and 27.8 for Lemke and Hammonds respectively. As now we're going to head through into the S's now into turn number 5. Alessandrini has really got this Porsche hooked up, and look at the speed he's carrying. 0.4 of a second. The fireworks could be exploding imminently here, Chris, because Alessandrini closing in, and look how tight he is to the apex at turn 6. It's the run down the back stretch. I think Alessandrini has got more than the advantage. He's got the blackjack pair in his hand right now.
Yeah, Alessandrini was just so much more pace right now than Lemke or Hammonds. I don't expect Lemke or Hammonds to just move over out of the way. I don't think it's going to make it near as easy as Dilts did. Dilts just kind of moved over and let Alessandrini go by here. Hammonds trying to put up as much of defense as he can, but unfortunately, here comes Alessandrini on the left side. It's going to be the inside coming into this next corner, and he is going to move up into that second spot. So Hammonds tried to put up a fight, but just did not have enough bullets in the gun.
Yeah, John Monsalve, unfortunately, has ended up in pit lane. It might have been some drama for the number 29 Porsche. As Stan Hammonds finds himself demoted, courtesy of DJ Alessandrini, who is closing in on Brian Lemke. Into turn 1 we go on lap number 24. We ride on board with the 333 from the USA. Up the hill we go into turn 2. Lemke trying to make the rear of that BMW GT4 wider than an articulated lorry, but he makes a bit of a mistake, and here goes Alessandrini to the outside. Is this going to give him the run down the hill? It is. Alessandrini back on lap number 24, retakes the lead. Great strategic choice of going with fuel and tyres, and that has put him exactly where he started this race, on pole position.
Alessandrini got down to the inside of Lemke right there. I thought Hammonds was going to be close enough to follow him through, but Lemke was able to slam the door shut on Hammonds and going to settle back into that second spot. So once again, we are Alessandrini, Lemke, Hammonds are our top 3, and Dilts has done a nice job moving up 3 spots, now up to 4th, and he's actually making up some ground here on the back of this battle for second. We might see a 3-car battle for second before this is over with.
Yeah, you could be right there, Chris. It could be the fact that Austin Dilts did take less fuel than Brian Lemke. Lemke was in his pit box for 1.7 seconds more than Stan Hammonds. So Stan is lighter on fuel, and that might be the difference that might pay dividends. Meantime, we've got Russell Abraham in the BMW 046 playing along with Kyle Mavis in the 398, and Russell Abraham late on the brakes through turn 10-8, neatly as you do. So he gets through at that point, but it is the fate. Oh, look, Stan Hammonds in the meantime has got past Brian Lemke. So change for P2. Brian Lemke, after the pit stop phase, was leading. He's been passed by Alessandrini, and I think, as I said, that fuel disparity between Hammonds who's made a little bit of a pig's ear going through into 4 and into the S's, but he has got less fuel on board, which means that Lemke will be at a slight disadvantage, maybe by about a couple of tenths of a second. So that is going to help Stan Hammonds try to break the differential. And looking at the lap times last time around, Brian Lemke 1 minute 28.8. Stan Hammonds 1:28.23, so is over 5.5 tenths of a second quicker. So this is now allowing Hammonds to pull away. Meantime, Derek Tyndall in ninth place, closing in on Mark Miller. Now we did see Tyndall battling away with Parker Dime, who's up into P6 now. So can Tyndall get through on Brian Zinn in the? Can Tyndall get through Mark Miller on the Mercedes? Brian Zinn up next in P7. So Derek Tyndall gets the traction out of turn 10B over the crest underneath the bridge going through 11. But it is going to be a tall order. We have got just over 7.5 minutes to go. And the tyres on a lot of the drivers that, I mean, the thing is, I think even if Michael Brook, Michael is trying to make a recovery drive back up the order, he started on the outside of the front row. He is currently up to now 19th. He rejoined in 23rd position, so he is making some headway. Probably when he got that black flag, I would imagine that he might have decided, well, when I can start working on this car, I'll get tyres as well. But it hasn't paid dividends because that black flag penalty kept him in the pits for an additional 30 seconds, and that is that's something that happens. If you come into pit lane and you break that line for when you've got to be on that pit lane speed limit in first gear. Michael is making some good moves up the order, but with things as they are, unfortunately, it's been a case of the tyre advantage has not gone his way like it has with Alessandrini, who has now bolted. And with 6.5 minutes to go, he is 3.7 seconds up the road. He comes across the stripe to start lap 27 of this race. So we're probably looking at another I would probably say another 4 to 5 laps in total, so we could be hitting 30 laps at the end of this race. So Alessandrini, like we saw at the beginning of the race, Chris, has gotten away. He's used the 3000 IQ strat and he's made it work.
Yeah, Alessandrini just class of the field here today. Drove out to about a 12-second lead before that pit stop. Said, I'm going to take new tires, and he's driving away right now, like you said, over 4 seconds out to the good right now. Lemke, Hammonds there in second. Lemke kind of getting a little separation here. We were nose to tail for second and third for most of this race, but Hammonds was able to clear Lemke and is putting a little bit of distance back to him. We're looking back at this battle here when Tyndall, Miller, Zinn, and Aaron Law right there kind of lurking back there behind him as well. So this is about the closest battle we have on the racetrack right now, which is for 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Yep. So into the final 5 minutes we head very, very shortly, and it is going to be the case of can Derek Tyndall get the overspeed on Mark Miller. Mark Miller looks a little bit sideways coming out of that turn 7 onto the back stretch. But one wrong move on very, very heavily worn tyres. The track temperature has started to subside. It's around about 46 degrees centigrade now, 118.4 degrees Fahrenheit. So as the race has proceeded onwards, Sean Teeter has, I think, had an impact, and he's got a mechanical black flag. So he has ended up in the pits. Also, John Monsalve ended up in pit lane as well for another time. And we're going to have a look at the. That's a big hit, and that was
Rob Phelan.
Rob Phelan. So that's the tail end of the accident that we saw, which meant that Sean Teeter ended up in pit road. Now, was the big thing is that what did it happen on his own, or was he assisted? That's the big question, because no, this is Sean Teeter. That's actually, I think it was John Monsalve that we just saw there down the start-finish stretch. But this is turn 5, as I said. You don't want to go too wide. Bang, there we go, straight into the barriers, and the right side takes an absolute pounding, especially on the right rear quarter panel. And then for good measure, it's a 360 to boot and front and rear end. So, yeah, I mean, Rob Phelan was keeping exit stage left at that point. So I think that was probably more than likely James E. Dean that had the drama. This is all right. Okay, now this is going to give us a bit more of an indication. Oh, there was a little swipe. There was a little swipe, but maybe a little bit of netcode maybe have been involved. But Rob Phelan was right on the back of James E. Dean, and all of a sudden, bang. Slight rub.
Yeah, I thought there might be a little bit of contact. That's why that McLaren was sitting there slowing down on the inside of the racetrack there. But unfortunate mistake right there between those two. Looks like it's gonna put Rob Phelan out of any chance of having a good run. We're what, 3 minutes left to go.
Yeah, Rob Phelan's still running though. It was just the slightest of grazes, but DJ Alessandrini has been the talk of the town here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. Here at this 2.54 mile circuit, Stan Hammonds holding on to that P2 at the moment, and Brian Lemke rounding out the top 3 overall. More to the point, Mark Miller as well. The thing is, Derek Tyndall has lost out in the meantime. He's dropped behind Aaron Lahr in the number 468 Porsche. So Aaron getting the job done on the BMW in the 042. We're going to have a look at the replay here. Now this is coming into turn 1. So you've got Zinn, Miller, Tyndall turning in. Now, is that car going to have a little bit of a moment? Yes, it is. Look, the car's understeering over to the left-hand side, and he ends up taking a trip through the grass, and Aaron Lahr is coming over the crest of the hill. He's going to see Tyndall to his outside. Tyndall nearly had a bit of a difficult rejoin. It unstabilizes the BMW, and Aaron Lahr through at turn 3 down the hill takes the position around the outside. Good work there by Aaron Lahr, but DJ Alessandrini will bring us on to our penultimate lap, so lap 29 of the race underway here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta, and in 7 days time we'll be heading to the famed Temple of Speed, the third oldest racetrack in modern day motorsport. Firstly, it was Brooklands, which is now defunct here in the United Kingdom, then Indianapolis Motor Speedway, followed by Monza, which opened its doors back in September of 1922. But it is the case of can Brian Lemke, I mean, they're trying to hang on. They're on a finger thread at the moment with regards to these tyres at the minute, especially the rear tyres, because they're getting absolutely destroyed in the latter stages. Spencer Beaudoin's got Morgan Smith right on his tail as they come through turn 12. But with things as they stand, Alessandrini about halfway through the circuit, so he'll be coming through turns 6 and 7 at this moment in time. But it has been the DJ Alessandrini show, as there he is down the back stretch. The timer counting down. We are into the final 60 seconds of this race. One more lap will get the white flag this time by here for the 333, who has expanded his gap over Stan Hammonds to a whopping 6.7 seconds. DJ Alessandrini out of turn 11, down the hill through into turn 12. White flag, thanks to Barney, the flag marshal, doing a great job as ever, feverishly waving the white flag. And it is not the towel of surrender, it is the towel of saying, right, you've got one more lap, bring it home.
Yeah, that's the flag you're looking for right there. I've been out in some of these long races like this, 45 minutes to an hour, and you're just looking for that white flag, especially Alessandrini right now. He's out in front by over 7 seconds. He just doesn't want to make any mistakes right now. He knows he's got a big enough gap. He could kind of back off a little bit, but sometimes what happens when you back off, it tends to lead to make a mistake. So watch Alessandrini right here. About half a lap left to go to pick up the win here in the opening race.
Oh, Stan Hammonds has just got a slowdown penalty. That is not what he needed right now, because he's got Brian Lemke who's going to be closing in on him, and Lemke could get the run coming out of the back straight away.
See if he can slow
Sorry
down
to cut
enough.
across you there, Chris.
Oh, no problem. Let's see if he can slow down enough to not let Lemke around him. We've seen this before.
Yeah, it is down the back stretch for the final time, and Alessandrini is continuing his way. He's going to be, he's pretty much nearly 3/4 of the way through the lap. We're going to have to concentrate on the leader for now, mainly because of the fact that DJ Alessandrini has pretty much been the talk of the town here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. Started on pole position with a great run in qualifying earlier on tonight, and he will pick up the opening victory. It's Alessandrini that brings it home here at Road Atlanta to win the opening round of season 26 for Apex this iRacing League. It is going to be Stan Hammonds that is going to hold on ahead of Brian Lemke. They will round out a 2-3 for the manufacturer BMW on the rostrum. Austin Diltz with a great run to P4. But DJ Alessandrini, what a job. Roman Bykov and Parker Dime round out your top 6 ahead of Brian Zinn. Mark Miller, Aaron Lart and Derek Tyndall rounding out the top 10. Joseph Mayer will bring another BMW across the line in 11th in the 000. What a run he's had tonight. Russell Abraham up 4 spots, finishes in P12. Kelly Greenhoe, who started down in 17th, rounds out the top 13, but a disastrous mistake there by Kyle Mavis out of the final corner, brings the Mustang home in 14th. And it's Canada's Spencer Bourdin who rounds out the top 15 up from 26 at the start. Take a bow. Michael Brook as well, who recovers to finish in P16 as it looks like it's like I-95 when there's big traffic down there, Chris.
At the parking lot, going to turn 1 right near. I guess everybody just decided we got to the checker. We're going to stop. We're tired. We're just going to stop right here in turn 1. But Hammonds with a good run, flashing the lights there in second. Take a look at our podium right here.
Alessandrini takes the win here at race 1 at Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta. Stan Hammonds and Brian Lemke rounds out your overall top 3. Porsche ruling the roost here at Road America. BMW coming up second and third best. Also looking at it from this perspective, just looking at the runner manufacturers. So Porsche, BMW, Aston Martin, Ford, and Mercedes in the top 10. But a really, really good start to season 26 here for the Apex This iRacing League. Big thank you also, as always, to everyone that has been watching on the Racer Nexus YouTube channel. We are going to be your announcing crew for the entirety of this 12th of this 12-week calendar. It is, even though it's going to be wishing everybody a happy holiday season next week at Monza, and what a track to bring in Christmas, and then to bring in the new year we go to the Glen of all places, and then Mid-Ohio kickstarts 2026 kicking and screaming. We are going to just wait for just a moment or two to see if we have got any one of our drivers, but coming in, we do want to have a chat with. I'd love to have a chat with. Right, we have got Stan Hammonds standing by, but we've got DJ Alessandrini winning ahead of Stan Hammonds, Brian Lemke, Austin Diltz, Roman Bykov, Parker Dime, Brian Zinn, Mark Miller, Aaron Lart, and Derek Tyndall rounding out your top 10. Joseph Mayer and Russell Abraham, Kelly Greenhoe, Kyle Mavis, Spencer Bourdin, Michael Brock, Jesse Meager, Morgan Smith, Dan Corrido, Daniel Salmon, Oz Esquilu, Uwe Hale, John Cooper, Juan Colmenero, Sean Teeter, Richard Zavicki, Luke Harrigan, John Monsalve, Rob Phelan, Matthew Brent is going to come across the line in 30th. Ahead of James E. Dean, Philip Poole retired on lap 17, Dylan Foster on lap 18, Antonio Wood lap 16, Mike Bond out on lap 13, and Craig Thompson, didn't even make it past the opening lap of the race. But I think really what we need to do, first of all, we'll have time. We've got one, I think, time, Chris. I think for one interview, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Whoever you want to bring in to start off with, we do have Hammonds and Lemke in there, and then somebody else in there. I'm not sure who that is. Maybe that's Alan Sandrino.
Sure. Daniel Salmon, who's the highest placed Britty, finished in the top 20. So let's bring in, let's bring in Stan Hammonds. Well, Stan Hammonds, that was a bit of a fight there between you and Brian Lemke all race long, wasn't it?
Lemke and I just can't stay away from each other. We're teammates, and it just seems like I think that our driving style and our mindset during the race is very similar, and we just stay within about a car length of each other the entire race most of the time. It's always fun racing with him, so it was a good time. Tried to give it away on the last lap, but thankfully I was so slow anyway that the slowdown kind of took care of itself, so worked out pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, also a very interesting decision on strategy by DJ, because he decided to go for a full set of tyres and the full amount of fuel that you guys could run, and ended up taking the W. I mean, it was a difficult call, especially with the track temp being so high at 122 degrees Fahrenheit.
He said that was an accident in race.
I don't believe that. I don't
believe
that.
it either. I think he's full of crap. I think he meant to do it and he's just showing off. So Congratulations to DJ for the 94th time in the last year, I guess. But we just need to give him his own class and make him drive the cross car or something in these races because it's just not a fair fight when he shows up.
I think in some respects, I like the fact that we agreed on one point, but I think the thing was, how were the tires coming at the end of the race? I mean, the back end must have been as loose as anything.
Yeah, and the way that I like to drive the car, I always slide around a lot, in the rear especially. So for me at the end, I was pretty much just neutral steering through a lot of the corners, just sort of a four-wheel slide, which led to my off track in the S's.
Mhm.
For me, it was tough, but that's like every race for me, man. That's just I'm not very good at saving the tire, so when it's really critical at a place like this, when I get down to the end of the race, it's a struggle. But thankfully it worked out. I guess everybody else was having the same problem, but I always prefer a more loose, sort of free race car in the rear. So I liked it, but there were a lot of complaints in the voice chat about the tires too. So
Kind of guessed that really, but Stan, congrats on the P2 here at Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
yeah, shout out first of all, shout out Racer Nexus. I appreciate you guys. I know we're up to 2 nights a week for the broadcast with Apex this season, so that's exciting. My buddy Rob Campbell, he's kind of coordinating everything with Racer Nexus. So shout out to him. Shout out Sky Lounge. So we had myself, Limke, Russ Abraham, and Jonathan Cooper all in the race tonight, all running Sky Lounge paint jobs. And man, shout out DJ again for the 94th time. Happy for that guy. And that's pretty much all I got. Appreciate you guys, and can't wait to go back and watch the broadcast over.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Stan. We'll see you next week at round two at Monza.
Have a great night, buddy. We'll see you.
So big thank you there to Stan Hammonds. Let's bring in his teammate from Skylounge Motorsports, if we can. Let's bring in Brian Lemke. Brian, good evening. DJ got away with that one by a country mile, but good to see you and Stan having a nice little tete-a-tete, so to speak, here at Road Atlanta.
Yeah, actually, I was excited. DJ took some tires there, and I think I led a lap or two, which is pretty impossible to do when DJ's around. So that was kind of cool. I knew he was gonna scoot right by me, especially with fresh tires. But had a blast racing Stan the whole time. I mean, we were probably within a second the entire race. I think I pushed a little too hard at the beginning and kind of wore my tires out. Figured I'd
Mm.
try to follow him around a little bit, but I could see his tires were going, and man, it was just a battle of like trying to make it to the end. Austin was in fourth. He was catching us. Man, there was a lot going on in that race. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, we were just having a quick chat with your good buddy, Mr. Hammonds.
Mhm.
The tires were basically like lemmings trying to fall off a cliff towards the end of the 45-minute race. I mean, track temps are really, really high, like 50 degrees C, 120 plus degrees Fahrenheit. It wasn't going to be an easy one, but still, it does still show that you can make a set of tires last 45 minutes, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I do a lot of like endurance racing type stuff, and that's kind of the key. You got to make that whole stint on fuel. So sometimes you got to take it a little easy and lift a little bit and try to conserve a little. It's hard to do when there's somebody right on you or you're trying to get around somebody. So it's a game. It's the game within the game, I guess, trying to figure out what's the best strategy to do for yourself in the race, and
Mm.
still try to get probably not the win with DJ around, but at least second.
Yeah, exactly. But of course, next week we head to Monza, another track where tires are going to be at a premium. But also the fact of you guys are going to be at flat chat full throttle for 75% of the lap, and that's going to be a tall order in heavy braking zones. It's going to be a different set of circumstances, isn't it, next week?
Absolutely, and we do a fixed setup, but an open car choice, so we can pick whichever car we want, which leads to a lot of testing leading up. And it seems like some of these cars have more top speed, some are better in the corners, some are
Mm.
better in hairpins and chicanes, and Monza has all of those. So picking the right car might be pretty difficult for next week's race. I'm looking forward to it.
Same here, but thanks very much for your time, Brian, for talking to us in the post race interview show here for round one of Apex this GT4. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast this week. Super excited to have you guys on Tuesday nights and of course Sundays like we've been doing. The broadcasts have always been top notch, so I look forward to going back and watching that with you guys. So thanks for doing that. Thanks to Sky Lounge helping me out with the paint. Stan not roughing me up too much tonight, which was nice. And all the people at Apex, all the new members that came out tonight, which was awesome to see. We had a really big field tonight. So it seemed like a lot of good racing going on. So hopefully the action was good on your side. Hopefully we put on a good show for you.
You definitely did, Brian. Thank you so much for your time. We'll see you at round 2 next week for Monza. Well done tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, big thank you there to Brian Lemke, our third place runner in the finishing order. I think let's just see if he is willing to talk to us. I know it's 3:05 in the morning UK time, but he's the top McLaren and also, more to the point, the top Brit. Dan Salmon joins us. Dan, good morning.
Good morning, good afternoon, or indeed good evening. For where I'm at, we're going with good evening. It's about 11:05 here in Nova Scotia. How about you, Alex?
Ah.
I hear a fellow Brit, sir.
Yes, indeed. It's 3 in the morning here in good old just on the Essex Suffolk border. So,
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's okay. I mean, firstly, top Brit, and also second of all, top McLaren in the race as well. It was a tough one out there, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely challenging. Like honestly, I went in with no practice. Like I just wanted to drive. It's what I'd call a princess approved track, and I definitely did not have the pace. Qualifying, I guess I got kind of lucky, but defensive game was on point. You know, I held off some guys that are definitely punching above my weight class for a little while, but wondering where the pace was. Like, I didn't want to push the car too hard. I just want to try and keep it clean. And 2 incident points for the whole race. I'll take that. I think that was a solid drive compared to how it usually goes. Certainly, Richard Swindell's surprised I finished a race.
Yeah, but nevertheless, temperatures were quite high, 50 degrees centigrade, 122 degrees Fahrenheit. It wasn't easy.
Yeah, no, definitely not. That's full on Betty Swallock's territory for sure. But no, it was a good race. Honestly, some good battles. I got to say the guy behind me was 3.6K. Like he could have gone so many times. Spencer as well could have gone so many times, and they didn't. I kept being able to get him going out of 10B. If they did get ahead, I'd go and get them back. It was good. It was great. And that Michael Brock guy is an absolute alien. Like I was like, all right, I'll hold him up for a bit. Nope, gone, checked out. But yeah, no, really fun race. I've been racing Apex casually on and off for a good couple of years now, and it's good to see it still going on and outgrowing. Like give Rob Campbell some credit for that as well. I know he's been keenly involved and doing a good job, and looks like he's got some new commentary staff as well, new production staff. You boys doing a bang up job.
Yeah, we're going to be covering the whole of this GT4 season right the way through to March 3rd. But Dan, thanks a lot for your time, buddy. Really appreciate it. Well done on the 20th place and being the highest placed Brit and McLaren on the grid. But before we let you go, mate, anyone you'd like to shout out to?
Yeah, I'll shout out, obviously, Apex this. Thanks for putting on a great league, and not only that, a free league as well with a broadcast. That really does take some going to achieve that. I definitely can relate there. And like that to you guys in the booth. I know it's a tough job. Same deal. I've been there, done that, and yeah, it's WBM. We build memories, ladies and gentlemen. One of the most chill iRacing teams on the planet.
Dan Salmon, thank you so much for your time, buddy. We look forward to seeing you next week at Monza for round 2.
We'll see. Thanks, Alex.
Well, Chris, good to hear from Stan, Brian, and also from Dan, who, as you rightly pointed out to me, does his own broadcasting as well. What an season opener for season 26 for Apex this iRacing. GT4s at Road Atlanta, and we get to do it all over next week and over the next following 11 weeks from this week onward. We go to Monza, Watkins Glen, Mid-Ohio, Spa, Sebring. There's so much racing that's going to be bringing a lot of bang for our buck here on Apex this, isn't there?
It is going to be. I'm looking forward to an exciting season. Really great race here at Road Atlanta. And if this is any sign of what we're going to see in this 12-week, 11-week season here, it is going to be a lot of fun. Alex, Monza, one of my favorite tracks next week. This is just a great schedule. Me and you talked about it off before the race started, and it's a fantastic schedule. I'm just really excited about being here on Tuesday nights with Racer Nexus.
Yeah, so if you do want to get involved, you can also get involved by getting in touch with us here at Racer Nexus. We'll be happy to oblige to get you on the GT4 grid over the next 11 weeks. So next week, same place, same time, live on Racer Nexus. You'll join us at the Temple of Speed, the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, the third ever purpose-built motorsports facility. 3.6 miles. It is going to be flat out, flat chat around that circuit for 45 minutes. Don't forget, if you do want to get some a little bit of money off in the run up to Christmas and New Year for anything through the Apex Sim Racing shop, where you go to checkout, for 5% on all purchases, use the coupon code Racer Nexus. That's Racer Nexus, all lowercase, no space in the middle. And the referral link you'll find in the description on the YouTube channel. Also, a big thank you last but by certainly no means least, track cams provided by trackcams22.com. Well, the dust has settled here at Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta, and more to the point, DJ Alessandrini rules the roost with an iron hand in that Porsche 718. Can anyone best him at the Temple of Speed at Monza on December the 23rd? Well, join myself, Alex Goldschmidt, and Chris Murphy here on the Racer Nexus Network as we'll take you through all the action live as it happens. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you in 7 days' time as the Apex This iRacing League for GT4 Season 26 heads to the Temple of Speed. Until next time, race hard, race fair, and if in doubt, like at Monza next week, you've got to go flat out. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Good night.